Hello and welcome to the She Reads Romance Books podcast, the ultimate show for romance book lovers looking for the best books worth reading. I'm your host, Leslie Murphy, and in each short episode, I share my favorite book list of recommendations so you know exactly what to add to your must-read list. Join me as I explore the romance genre and have fun collecting book boyfriends along the way, because life is better with a love story. Hello, readers. So, a little fun fact about me, I absolutely love celebrating Christmas in July and taking a look at all of the new Christmas romance books that are set to release in the coming months. So, an early happy holidays to everyone. This episode is going to definitely get you into the holiday spirit, just thinking about these new Christmas romance books that will begin releasing as early as September, I think, if you can believe it. I am going to be sharing my top 10 must-read new Christmas romance books of 2024 that you are going to want to snuggle up with to make the season super bright this year. While I'm just highlighting 10 in this episode, my book list over on shereadsromancebooks.com has a lot more new Christmas romance books releasing in 2024 with plenty of options to keep you busy reading all season long. So be sure to click the link in the show notes to check it out for even more to add to your TBR list this holiday. Trust me when I say that you could keep the entire month of December and probably longer full of holiday romance if you wanted to, and I just might do that this year. Who knows? So to kick things off, the first new Christmas romance book for 2024 that I am beyond excited to read is A Jingle Bell Mingle by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. Now, you are going to want to read this too because it is the She Reads Romance Books book club selection for October 2024, which means that in October we will be getting together on Zoom to talk about A Jingle Bell Mingle as a group. And then we are going to be meeting a second time on Zoom to talk with both Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone about this awesome book, their writing partnership, and all of the things. So I hope that you can join us for the book club now and coming up in October. So just go right now, go to shereadsromancebooks.com/book club to join. But in the meantime, here is what A Jingle Bell Mingle is all about. What happens when there's no room at the inn and you and your potentially demonic cat become roommates with your grumpy one-night stand? Part-time adult film actress / one-time adult film director / makeup artist Sunny Palmer has accidentally sold her very first screenplay to the Hope Channel. That was 6 months ago. Fast forward to a looming deadline, and uninspired Sunny has returned to the source of her inspiration in Christmas Notch, Vermont, to immerse herself in the local Christmas miracle on which her fever dream of a movie pitch was based. Isaac Kelly, former boy band heartthrob and the saddest boy in the music biz, is the latest owner of the town's historic mansion. After his years of heartbreak following his young wife's passing, Isaac's record label is done waiting for new music. What better place to attempt his first holiday album than a snow-covered mansion where he can become a hermit in peace? But after their best friend's wedding leads to them waking up together in a freezing motel room with questionable wiring and a broken shower, Isaac takes a chance and asks Sunny to stay with him at his home. Surely the place is big enough that he'll hardly see her or her unhinged cat. But when the two discover they're both creatively blocked, they make a handshake deal. Isaac will help Sunny hunt down the truth behind the local lore, and Sunny will find Isaac a new muse. And with these two opposites under one roof, there's no way this Jingle Bell Mingle could go off script, right? Okay, so I am so ready to return to Christmas Notch, Vermont in this next installment to Murphy and Simone's Christmas Notch series. I love that Sunny and Isaac are both in a bit of a predicament when it comes to creativity, but it also seems like a really cool sort of forced proximity action can cure their writer's block and potentially help them find love at the same time. I am so for that. I've already fallen for Isaac from just the tidbits we've gotten in the previous books, so I'm ready to fully meet him, but I think this can absolutely be read as a standalone if you're just looking for something super spicy this holiday season. The books in this series are definitely fun rom-coms with a good amount of spice, so I highly recommend them all. But definitely read this one and then join us for book club in October. Okay, the next new Christmas romance book for 2024 I'm excited to read is All I Want Is You by Fallon Ballard, and here is what it is about. All Jessica has ever wanted is her own happily ever after. But until that happens, she spends her days as a small-time romance writer, penning satisfying happily ever afters to soothe the heartache left by her ex-boyfriend Nick, also a romance writer and now her biggest rival, who has found success writing love stories without happy endings. It's what he's good at, after all. So when their professional obligations bring them to a remote inn a few days before Christmas, they're a little more than peeved, especially when they get trapped sharing a room in a snowstorm. But what's more fitting for two romantic writers in a slump? Realizing the friction between them might be the only cure for their writer's block, they decide to turn their frustration into fiction, and the pages start flying. But will Jess's heart soar too? Nick is the last guy on earth she should love, but what if he really is all she wants for Christmas? So we have another romance where people who are having a little bit of writer's block, and I just love authors who write holiday romances with either a take on, holiday song lyrics, which this one kind of has, and uses, holiday names for their characters. Super cute. But I'm also always up for a romance book where characters are trapped in a snowstorm. In fact, I have a podcast episode on the best snowed in romance books. I'm totally blanking on what number episode it is, but do a little search on She Reads Romance Books and you can find that out. These forced proximity romances always just sort of have like the best chemistry between characters who are forced to deal with one another when they otherwise probably would not. I also love that this new Christmas romance is about two writers, even if only one of them gets that a romance requires a happy ending. But I am hoping that Fallon delivers with this one this holiday season. I'm really looking forward to it. Next up on my list is the new Christmas romance book from Emily Stone, which is A Winter Wish. And here is what that one is about. When Lexi learns of her father's passing, she doesn't know how to feel. They've barely spoken in the last 10 years, and she's even more confused when she discovers he's left her half of his holiday travel company, a successful niche business specializing in trips that explore the holiday traditions of cultures all over the world. Meanwhile, the other half of the company has been left to her father's handsome but bad-tempered young executive, Theo, and the will stipulates that the two of them must find a way to run the company together for a year before they decide its fate. Lexi intends to leave once the year is over, even though as a wanderer herself, she finds the company's mission more compelling than she's first thought. I do too, actually. I think that this is a really cool part of the story. But anyway, and a work trip to sizzling Spain reveals a chemistry between Lexi and Theo that is impossible to deny. There may have been some snap judgments made about each other, but mixing business and pleasure isn't always a good idea. So yeah, super cute. And gosh, I have to take a look to see if there is a travel company that does just that, because I think that's really neat. And if so, I need to book a trip like ASAP. But I'm hoping that this is the year that I finally read a holiday romance by Emily Stone, because she churns one out like every year, and it's high time that I read one. I actually think I have to make a book list of all of her holiday romance books. So yeah, be on the lookout for that one. But in the meantime, as I said, I'm loving that this is a bit of strangers to lovers, or at least I think they are, maybe not, but an office romance for sure. I'm obsessed with travel, especially romance books that inspire travel, and I cannot wait to see what this company is all about or where it takes them. So that is definitely on my TBR list this holiday. Another new Christmas romance book for 2024 that sounds so awesome is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn, and here is what it is about. Every Kringle in Kringletown loved Christmas a lot, but Cole Black on Whistler Lane unfortunately did not. Cole was a recluse during the Kringle Christmas season. No one knew why. No one could quite give a reason. Martha said it was because he was alone and very single. May believed it was because he was never named the town Kringle. But to me, the reason is a storyline far too sad, for at the age of 18, he lost both mom and dad. Whatever the reason, his parents or being single, he spends Christmas in the dark, hating the cheery people of Kringle. How am I not surprised that Megan Quinn is using How the Grinch Stole Christmas as her muse for this new Christmas romance book that I cannot wait to get my hands on? Someone had a lot of fun writing that book summary. Not gonna lie, it was awesome. Making this new holiday romance book sound like the perfect Christmas romance book with a humbug to enjoy. Before or after you read this one, you can check out another one of my podcast episodes. Again, I'm blanking on the number. I should have looked beforehand, but I share a list of my favorite Grumpy Sunshine Christmas romance books. Again, where there's one character who is a total grump about the holidays and sort of changes his or her tune in that romance. So I just love those. And these have more holiday humbugs who finally find that Christmas spirit, and I think this will have to be added to that list after reading it. Here is hoping. So definitely have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn on my TBR list. Another new Christmas romance book releasing in 2024 that I already have an advanced reader copy for sitting in my Kindle library, and that is The Fake Wedding Project by Pippa Grant, and here is what this holiday romance is about. Faking an engagement to my secret high school crush was not on my to-do list when I landed for a short visit home. But when Amanda Anderson announces that she's my fiance, I take a leap and play along with the farce. Why? Because the Capulets and Montagues have nothing on the Andersons and Silvers of Tinsel, Michigan. In the name of bringing peace to our Christmas-themed hometown and ourselves, we'll play the part of Romeo and Juliet. If our relatives think we're in love, they'll have to end this ridiculous feud, right? Amanda's a professional dog walker, and I'm an engineer who loves dogs. How hard could it be to show our families what else we have in common? The heat and this town's infernal holiday cheer are messing with my head, though, and once we start making our fake wedding plans, I can't seem to keep my heart out of it. Now, I adore fake relationship romance books, especially those when people need to fake a relationship for the benefit of their family members around the holidays. This is a must-read new Christmas romance, especially for enemies to lovers fans, which I love, and those who love a Romeo and Juliet themed rom-com. Pippa Grant is one of those authors who kind of snuck up on me, but who I totally fell for last year with Not My Kind of Hero. So I'm hoping that I love this book just as much. The next new Christmas romance book for 2024 that sounds like so much fun is The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rosh. Gosh, I'm so terrible with names. I'm so sorry for butchering that if I did. But here is what this super cool book is about. Nicholas, or Cole Claus, used to love Christmas until his father, the reigning Santa, turned the holiday into a PR facade. Cole will do anything to escape the spectacle, including getting tangled in a drunken, supremely hot makeout session with a beautiful man behind a seedy bar one night. But the heir to Christmas is soon commanded to do his duty. He will marry his best friend, Iris, the Easter princess, and his brother's not-so-secret crush, a situation that has disaster written all over it. Things go from bad to worse when a rival arrives to challenge Cole for the princess's hand, and Cole comes face-to-face with his mysterious behind-the-bar hottie, Hex, the Prince of Halloween. It's a fake competition between two holiday princes who can't keep their hands off each other over a marriage of convenience that no one wants. And it all leads to one of the sweetest, hottest, messiest, most delightfully unforgettable love stories of the year. I mean, put this already now on my reading list. I am loving this unique Christmas romance book that ties in more than one holiday. I love when authors sort of give me something I haven't read before, and this romance mixes Halloween, Christmas, and even Easter. Who knows if more holidays? And it's just the ticket, I think, to escape into something new this holiday season. I'm so ready for it and hoping it turns out to be one of the best books of the year, and perhaps I'll find a new favorite author in Sarah. So who knows? Definitely looking forward to The Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, moving on from a new gay romance to a new lesbian queer romance with Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. And here is what her 2024 Christmas romance book is about. It's been 5 years since Charlotte Donovan was ditched at the altar by her ex-fiance, and she's doing more than okay. Sure, her single mother never checks in, but she has her strings ensemble, the Rosalind Quartet, and her life in New York is a dream come true. As the holidays draw near, her ensemble mate Sloane persuades Charlotte and the rest of the quartet to spend Christmas with her family in Colorado. It is much cozier and quieter than Manhattan, and it would guarantee more practice time for the quartet's upcoming tour. But when Charlotte arrives, she discovers that Sloane's sister, Adele, also brought a friend home, and that friend is none other than her ex, Brighton. All Brighton Fairbrook wanted was to have the holliest, jolliest Christmas and try to forget that her band kicked her out. But instead, she's stuck pretending like she and her ex are strangers, which proves to be difficult when Sloane and Adele's mom signs them all up for a series of Christmas dating events. Charlotte and Brighton are soon entrenched in horseback riding and cookie decorating, but Charlotte still won't talk to her. Brighton can hardly blame her after what she did. After a few days, however, things start to slip through. Memories, music, the way they used to play together, Brighton on guitar and Charlotte on her violin, and it all feels painfully familiar. But it's all in the past and nothing can melt the ice in their hearts, right? So I have not yet read one of Blake's queer romance books, so it's, I think, high time that I did, and this new Christmas romance sounds like a lot of fun. There's just something extra special about second chance romance books too that are set around the holidays where characters, finally find their way back to each other. It's like that perfect, Christmas present for them and for me. So I'm excited to see what holiday festivities bring Brighton and Charlotte back together in this one. But moving on from that to another unique and super cute Christmas romance book releasing this year is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. And here is what her book is about. The bridge is out, the phones are down, and the most famous mystery writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 2 days before Christmas. Meet Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She's the new queen of the cozy mystery. He's Mr. Big Time thriller guy. She hates his guts. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. But when they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. That night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is gone. She vanished from a locked room, and Maggie has to wonder, is Eleanor in danger, or is it all some kind of test? Is Ethan the competition, or is he the only person in that snowbound mansion she can trust? As the snow gets deeper and the stakes get higher, every clue will bring Maggie and Ethan closer to the truth and each other. Because this Christmas, these two rivals are going to have to become allies and maybe more if they have any hope of saving Eleanor, assuming they don't end each other first. I mean, come on. How do authors come up with such funny and super cute story ideas? I am really hoping this new Christmas romance will be extra fun to read this holiday. I'm loving the rivals to lovers trope in it, as well as the mystery sort of surrounding the Christmas party that they are invited to. It instantly made me think of the classic movie Clue, which is one that I've watched and rewatched many, many times since I was probably a kid or a teen. So I hope that this Christmas romance gives me some similar vibes. It kind of seems like it could be one of those reality TV shows now, like what is it called? Imposter or Traitors. Yeah, Traitors or something like that. But anyway, sounds super cute. Check that book out this holiday if you're in for a little mystery with your romance. All right, speaking of fun, quirky romance books, another one to have on your radar this year is The Merriest Misters by Timothy Janofsky. And here is what his holiday romance is about. Patrick Hargrave and Quinn Muller have been married for less than a year, but their passionate romance is cracking under the pressure of domestic life and a cumbersome mortgage. That's until Christmas Eve when Patrick wakes Quinn up with, "I think I've killed a man." Quinn realizes the burglar Patrick knocked out is none other than Mr. Claus himself. Instructed by a harried elf to don the red suit and take the reins of the reindeer-guided sleigh up on the roof, Quinn and Patrick work together to save Christmas. But as the sun rises on Christmas morning, the sleigh brings them back to the North Pole instead of New Jersey, and they're in for a massive shock. The couple must assume the roles of Santa Claus in the first ever Merriest Mister, or Christmas will be canceled permanently. With Christmas and their marriage on the line, Patrick and Quinn agreed to stay together for 1 year. But can running a toy shop together save their relationship, or will Patrick and Quinn be stuffing coal in each other's stockings come next Christmas? So Timothy has become, I should say, a go-to author for gay romance novels, and he just keeps churning them out. I think this will probably be his third release for 2024, if I'm correct. So keep them coming, Timothy. And this new Christmas romance for 2024 is sure to delight. I mean, how can it not when you've got a married couple taking over as Santa and Merriest Mister? Sounds super cute. Plus, I am becoming a really big fan of romance books that feature married couples. So I'm excited for that aspect too about this one. Okay. Moving on to the next Christmas romance book for 2024 that I want to read. It's by an author I have not yet read before. And this book is called Christmas Sweater Weather by Jacqueline Snow. And here is what it is about. Charlotte Calhoun has avoided Hayden Porter, her older brother's hot-as-sin best friend, ever since that mortifying night when he flat out rejected her. Fine. Except this Christmas season, they're thrown together at a snowy ski resort for her brother's bachelor party, complete with mistletoe, cozy fireplaces, and adjoining rooms. She can tell herself to get over Hayden, but holiday cheer is turning to holiday lust every time he is within 10 feet of her. Between being a full-time single father and his high-pressure college coaching job, a romantic relationship is off the table for Hayden. But he's fought his attention to Charlotte for as long as he can. A one-night stand is starting to sound like a good idea, as long as her brother never finds out. But with 2 long weeks until the wedding, hiding their growing feelings is going to have to take a Christmas miracle. So this Christmas romance book has a lot going for it, I think. You know, a holiday wedding, a secret one-night stand, and the brother's best friend trope. Throw in also the single parent trope as well. And this book sounds like something I can definitely snuggle up with and read from start to finish in one sitting. There's nothing like the holidays to finally push 2 people who have been circling each other for a while to finally get together. So I cannot wait to check out Christmas Sweater Weather, and I think that you should too. Wow. Okay. And that book wraps up, if you get that, wrapping up. Anyway, my list of must-read new Christmas romance books for 2024. Don't forget to also now visit my holiday hub on She Reads Romance Books for even more Christmas romance book lists. I've got a list of, the best spicy Christmas romance books, best Christmas romance books on Kindle Unlimited, and many more lists that you will find there all in one place, including if you're short on time, you can check out my list of Christmas romance novellas. Also, before I go, I want to remind you that there's still time to complete the July Romance Book Reading Challenge, which is to read 1 summer romance or to listen to an audiobook. I personally listened to Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan as my pick, which hit both of those prompts, which is honestly now one of my favorite audiobooks. I just loved it and highly recommend because we are going to be reading that in August for the She Reads Romance Books Book Club. But if you are looking for another book prompt or suggestion, I think I'm going to start a new thing for the podcast episodes, and that is pulling a card from my A Year of Reading Romance card deck and sharing that with you with some book recommendations for that card. So let me pull it out. I am going to shuffle and then pull a card and see what it is. So this card deck has 52 cards, so it can give you a reading, more than one reading prompt for every week of the year. All right, so this card The reading challenge is to read a book with a one-word title. Okay. One-word title. Ooh, okay. I actually just bought a copy of this book that I now, because I needed it on my bookshelf. One of my favorite romance books is Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. Definitely a book with a one-word title. One of my all-time favorite romance books. So to meet that challenge, I recommend you read Him. Now, each card, if you flip it, also gives a romance category or romance trope as a suggestion to read. And this card's trope or category is witch romance. Ooh, okay. Witch romance. Ooh, earlier from this year, really good book that is going to be the first in a series, Heartless Hunter. It's about a girl who didn't know she was a witch and becomes a witch, and that, witches are bad where she lived. And that is by Kristen Cicerelli, if I'm saying her name correctly. That was a really great read. So if you want to read a witch romance, definitely check out Heartless Hunter. Okay. So lots of books now added to your TBR list from this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy early holidays. Happy holidays to all. Thank you for celebrating Christmas in July with me. And until next time, happy reading, because life is better with a love story. That's all for this episode of the She Reads Romance Books podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and found some new books to add to your TBR list. If you did, please subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. It really helps me reach more romance book lovers like you, and I appreciate your support. If you're a book boyfriend collector like me, then you'll want to join my email list so you never miss a podcast episode or a new book list. Just visit shereadsromancebooks.com/join and sign up today. As a thank you, I'll instantly send you my list of top 10 book boyfriends that will make you swoon. Trust me, you don't want to miss this list. Thank you for listening, and until next time, happy reading.